Greetings. So I finally watched Deadpool and Wolverine. The theater has been back up and going well since last week, but finally saw it today, and in short, I enjoyed it. I thought it was really good. Don't know if that's my favorite Deadpool film, but it was very, very good. I wore this to the theater. Had me at tacos. So, yeah. There's the ticket. But yeah, if you have an interest in watching this film, and you haven't, make sure to watch Deadpool, Deadpool 2, as well as Logan. Watching perhaps some of the other Wolverine films, or X-Men films particularly, with Wolverine, would probably be a good thing. But I think Logan would at least be enough in order to truly understand many of the various references that are in this film. I mean, there are other references here and there, and I don't want to say about certain other characters from other Marvel universes and stuff. Either part of other franchises or part of their own franchises, or in some cases franchises that didn't actually happen, but yeah, this was a good film, and I think this is one that many people can just enjoy. I mean, if you don't watch these films prior, there will be certain things you might not totally understand and all, but they are doing the whole multiverse thing, so yeah. I guess spoiler in a way, but in Logan, I guess spoiler for Logan, Wolverine dies at the end, but there's multiple Wolverines, Logans across the multiverse, which a lot of people aren't super fond of the multiverse, and I can understand, because it gets to the point where it's like just it can be quite confusing with different variations of these characters. And one person in particular who was Wolverine was quite interesting. Obviously, if you've seen the movie, you will know what I'm talking about. But for anybody who hasn't, it's actually quite interesting. And I guess I could say it. It's Henry Cavill, who was the last Superman, and yeah. And a joke is made by Deadpool about we'll treat you way better than those guys down the street, because it's a pretty good film. Honestly, it's entertaining, which is, I think, important for a film like this. Very well done. Great to see Hugh Jackman back, and he was like, after this film, he's like, I will never play Wolverine again. This is a great movie to go out on, and I do agree. It was a great film for him to basically say sayonara. I'm pretty sure I have talked about this before. I know I've said that like in the last video, but I'm pretty sure I did. But I might talk about this in a bit more detail at some point. Where there's actual spoilers, more spoilers than what I've already given. But yeah, the soundtrack was also pretty pretty cool. Though the soundtrack for these movies have always been quite good, and the music of this film was good also. But yeah, I enjoyed this film quite a bit. Very enjoyable. But again, if you haven't seen any of these films, it would probably be good to do so to understand not only Deadpool but also Logan, to watch that and just to see understand some of the references with that that are in this film. And they also poke fun at how Disney bought Fox, and so now there's this void that people get sent to, like for like certain like when things are like certain characters and things are rejected, they go to the void, and 20th Century Fox is now in the void. But yeah, the whole thing with Fox, I will say Disney basically did what they should have done at Fox, which is really restructure and hire different people. Keep the ones who are very good at their job, but everyone else who is lacking in terms of their actual abilities and are not fulfilling their jobs to their fullest. Yeah, they need to. They just needed a clean house, and Disney did that. So, if anything, I guess that's a good thing that Disney did, that people who previously were in charge of Fox didn't do. So, well, there you go. I guess there's always a silver lining in some way. But, yeah, the Deadpool films have always been fairly entertaining to me. Logan's an excellent film, and not just for a comic book superhero film, just a great film in general. So, even if you're not a big comic book fan, again, you don't have to really have seen any of the other X-Men movies. I mean, it helps in the sense, like, you can then determine, like, oh, so many years in the future, basically, this is where, Logan ends up. And, yeah. So, yeah. But, yeah, it's a good film. So, yeah, if you haven't seen this film, or any of these, or this film, the Deadpool Wolverine, I would say it would be a pretty good film. It's a little over 2 hours. Obviously, if you see it in the theater, it's going to be a little longer because, trailers and such. But, it's not one of those that's like 3 hours or anything. So, if that's kind of an issue for some people, which I know it is, you don't have to worry about that for the time. But yeah, I hope this video is fine. I don't want to really spoil anything because, again, I know it's almost been like a month since this film has been out, so some might say I'm completely late to the party, and I would agree, though in some aspects that was absolutely out of my control, particularly with the theater being completely out of power for as long as it was. I would have loved to have watched it within the first couple weeks or so it came out, but not only does life happen, but then stuff like that you wouldn't expect to occur happens. So yeah. Anyway, I think that's really it. Within the first few weeks, Deadpool Wolverine made over $1 billion. I don't know if I said that the last time, but if so, it's, I guess, worth repeating. So I believe it's now the highest grossing R-rated film of all time, surpassing Joker. And that's another thing, these films are rated R. So, not only is there a lot of language and violence in these films, which also is quite bloody, but in the Deadpool films in particular, there's a lot of sexual stuff, sexual humor, and so on. So be aware of that. If you're not super fond of that kind of thing, you might not want to watch a film with a good amount of sexual humor, innuendos, and all that. And sexual stuff here in these like two films. Yeah. Now, particularly in this film, there's more sexual stuff. There's mostly sexual references in here. But still, I know some people aren't all that fond of it, so I guess a warning to anybody who, I guess, has never seen a Deadpool film. Also, Deadpool is snarky, so, you know, that's also another thing with the humor. Not everybody is fond of that, so, again, be aware, you know, you're going to have some snarky character as, like, the lead, but, you know, Hugh Jackman did an excellent job. Ryan Reynolds has always been good as Deadpool. I mean, so as Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, you know, he is Wolverine, really, so, yeah. Anyway, I just wanted to finally say, yeah, I finally watched this film, so I hope all of you are doing well. Please have a great rest of your weekend, have a great week, and yeah. Next week is September, so probably watch something else and talk about that. I've watched various films since, okay, last week I actually watched all the Rambo films that I have. I don't have the fifth one, so I couldn't watch that. Still have never seen it, so who knows. Maybe one day I'll get it, but yeah. Might talk about the Rambo films at some point. Who knows. Anyway, I just wanted to get on here and finally give my thoughts after seeing Deadpool and Wolverine. You know, it's been a few hours now. I wanted to just gather my thoughts rather than right off the bat just go and talk about it, because I wanted to be a little more coherent. You know. Anyway, yeah, that is it. So yeah, please take care and just, again, have a great day and a great week. See you all next time. Bye.